technology and that lets you save.
Who cares?
True Form Life.
Green look.
Welcome to Exploring Mind and Body with Drew Tadia. Drew is an expert in nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. And he wants to help you live a healthier, longer, and more active life. Now here's your host, Drew Tadia.
All right, welcome to another edition of Exploring Mind and Body. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in to check out the show and being a part of our True Form Life community. For your downloads, shares, reviews, everything that you're doing to contribute to the show, we certainly wouldn't be here without you. Now, today we're bringing on a different type of show for you. We're going to piece together some of our morning show. So, as some of you know, Dorothy and I do a D&D morning show every Monday morning for our monthly membership group. Every once in a while, we open those doors and let you see what happens behind the scenes and what happens with our Monday morning show, with our D&D morning show. Now, Dorothy and I have a couple topics that we've pieced together here for you. So summertime workouts is going to be the main topic. We're going to start with that. And I think many times that we don't actually push forward in summertime, we just kind of get through it. So we're going to talk about that first. Then we're going to get into why we don't need to work out for hours. So why we should stop working out for hours at a time, because it's just not something that we need to do anymore. We're going to explain all about the reasons, a bit of history. That's going to be more exciting than boring, so stick around for that. And then lastly, the importance of switching up workouts. So many times we do the same workouts day in and day out, and this one in particular for summertime, because there's different things that we can do outside. There's playground workouts, and I won't get into that too much, but there's many things that we're going to talk about here as to why we should be switching up our workouts to continue to see results and avoid those dreaded plateaus. So stay right there. We got all that coming up on...
This is Exploring Mind and Body. Naturally improve your lifestyle one show at a time with your host, Drew Tadia.
Setting summer goals.
Yeah.
Where should we start?
Yeah, summer goals is a big one, because I feel like summer's pretty well the hardest part, besides maybe Christmas. But that's still a shorter time. That's probably a month, we could say.
Christmas, by the time you start the celebrations to end them. But summer is like our longest stretch of holidays.
Yeah, it's 6 weeks or longer. 8 weeks sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's
At
complete.
least 6 weeks,
Yeah.
of summer.
And it's completely different, like out of our norm. Most of the time, just depending on where you live. So in Alberta, for example, we have a short summer season, which is 2 months, roughly.
Not even sure we can call our summer a summer.
Which is
anyway.
why we're here. So, but then the kids are home as well. So that's another
Right.
one that we're not used to. Not used to having kids around when they're at school.
It's another reason too. Sometimes we feel that our routine is a little upset during the summer because things are different. Like kids are home, there's no school, there's different activities going on. So sometimes it feels like when summer rolls around, our life gets flipped upside down.
Right.
So that's why it's even more so important to set those goals and keep those routines going, because 6 weeks is a long time. If we let our routines totally go like by the wayside, like that's a long time. Like catching up after 6 weeks is very difficult.
Well, I think it goes back to, like, if you look at a time like Christmas, for example, and we're like, oh, Christmas is coming, and we start Christmas like right in November.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Some people before.
And so you have that mindset of like Christmas is coming, so you start to have like gatherings, and you start to have little maybe cheat meals or snacks and extra desserts, and that turns into like at least a full-blown month.
Yeah, for sure.
So if we look at that for summertime, like right now we're creating unhealthy habits mostly. Right?
Yeah.
So we're staying up later, we're barbecuing, we're having some drinks with friends, we're sitting outside and enjoying, and it's so nice that we're like, I don't want to go inside the gym and work out.
Right.
Instead of finding something to do outside to be active, we just skip it all together and be like, because we don't want to be inside. And I think it's important to recognize that we're setting those unhealthy habits now, and it's so we work all year, for most of the part, all year to create healthy habits.
Yeah.
And now we don't realize that we're breaking those habits that we worked hard for. And on top of that, we're creating unhealthy habits.
Yeah. I think one of the most important things is to set goals and write it down. Like even Drew and I, like we're in the health and fitness industry, but we still work at our goals and we still have to plan and set goals. For example, being away for a full summer, like we sat down, we talked about our goals, we wrote them down, and we are each day working towards those goals.
And then going from, instead of like just trying to get through the summer, like just trying to get by, maybe we could, find a way to excel and do something like their Spartan runs, for example.
Oh, yeah.
We know some people that are doing the death race, but doing something exciting and something that you can achieve instead of being like, oh, it's the summertime, I'm going to take a break from everything, just going to try to get through it. And then, it's an easy way to go backwards.
Or a lot of times I'll pick this up in the fall, right? In the springtime and in the beginning summer, everything starts to come to an end. So then we think, I'll just pick this back up in the fall. But that's a long time. Like 6-8 weeks is a long time to, I guess, get away from everything.
Yeah.
So setting like a fresh, exciting goal, like you were talking about, or like a Spartan run, or even a race, or like a run of some
there's
sort.
Lots of fun
There's
runs.
Lots of stuff going on in the summer. So setting that goal and having a plan, I guess, is the big thing, right? Having a plan.
Yeah, I like how you said we write it down. Like that's something that we do. We write it down so we know exactly what we're doing and the direction that we're headed.
Yeah.
I think many times we don't want to write it down because then we have to follow through with it.
Yeah.
And then you make it a reality when you sit down and you write it down.
Write it down.
But not by avoiding that, we kind of avoid making it a priority.
And I was just thinking too, when Drew said writing it down so it makes it more of a reality, another thing to do to keep yourself accountable is sharing with others what your goals are. Like, for example, Drew and I always share together what our goals are for the summer or for whatever we're working towards, because we keep each other accountable that way. So share with your partner, share with a friend, share with somebody what you're doing, because then I just find it amps up the accountability that way.
Or do something with a friend.
Yeah.
Like a fun run, for example. Do those with friends and sign up together so you're all like, are you guys working out? Are you working towards your goals? And that gives you more like a team effort as opposed to just individually.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if we want to get a little excited here, one extra bonus one is drizzling a little bit of hot sauce on some popcorn.
Oh yeah, that's a good
I
one.
did that in the past. I have really clean hot sauce that we'll post up for you guys, but I just put a little couple drops of hot sauce and mix that around, and that was delicious. Like this.
Mix it around.
So you want to end off with the quote?
Yeah, I got it right here. I made sure I wrote it down. So here is the quote today, Drew.
What we got?
You will never find time. If you want time, you must make it.
Very
That's
good
a good one, hey?
And end with time. It's it comes like it's one of the biggest complaints or excuses that we have.
Oh yeah,
I
totally.
Didn't have time, and like you'll never have time unless you make time.
You have to make it.
We have to prioritize. We have to make time in the day. It's kind of funny. Like we always find time to do the things that we want to do, and usually we put the things that we probably should do at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Many times that's like meal planning, for example, or like batching our recipes at one time of the day, and then you just don't make time for it.
Yeah. A lot of times I even ask my clients, like, well, you don't you make time for your hair appointment, you make time to get your nails done, you make time to go to that concert or that tea with a friend. So it's all about making the time to do those other things as well.
Yeah. So make time.
Yes. And you know what I started saying to myself as well? To believe that I have the time, is I always say, I've got nothing but time. I keep telling myself that, right?
It's a good mantra.
Yeah.
Nothing but time.
Got nothing but time.
True Form Life.
All right, so that was our segment on summertime goals. I hope that you got something out of it. I hope that you understand how important it is to set summertime goals so you don't just kind of get through day by day. We really want you to set those goals and do something exciting, push forward and get past the just trying to get by, or just knowing that you're going to be doing some holidays, or that you have the kids home, you're not going to be able to do your regular routines. Find something that's inspiring. Find something to go after that wakes you up and makes you excited. Many times just getting away, knowing that that beach body is really going to make a difference, or setting that, say, I'm going to go on a trip. I'm going to do something this summer. That's going to make all the difference, so it's not going to feel like you're starting from ground zero when September rolls around, because those habits really mean everything. They're they're so important. They're so significant in our overall well-being and our overall health. And if we set those goals and we push forward and we know what it's like to start from all the way from the beginning, you don't have to do that. We don't have to go through the struggles and create brand new routines and know what it's like to be like, oh, it's September, I got to go back to the gym, or I got to start new routines. If you keep those routines, and if you set big goals for yourself throughout the summer, or maybe they're smaller goals, usually it's one big goal and then you break them down into smaller goals. But there's all kinds of fun runs going on in the summertime, hikes and mountain climbing. There's so many different things that we can do. Unfortunately, I think many times we just have that mindset of, let's just get through this summer and we'll move on from there, or start again in the fall. But push hard. Find reasons to get excited about fitness and working out and living healthy. And that's really going to help you out, especially when September comes around and it's time to get back at it. You're already going to be head above shoulders. Most people that are starting to work out or starting to trying to get into a routine, many times it's 2-3 weeks or a month or two before we get into that routine. We get the kids to school, and then we start taking care of ourselves. Then half the fall's gone. And then, of course, November, December's coming up, and it's Christmas time. So we have to worry about that. There's always a reason not to, so find reasons why you should. All right, so in this next segment, we're going to be talking about the importance of switching up workouts. This dreaded plateau is something that so many people fear. It's talked about often, and for good reason, because we work so hard, and then sooner or later we run into a plateau. There's no other. We run into a wall. We don't continue to see the results, and that many times is when people stop working out and they don't continue to push. They don't find new goals. They don't find different ways. So in this next segment, we're going to talk about what you can do to avoid that plateau, which goes along perfectly with summertime. When summertime rolls around, it's a good time for us to find new things, new different ways to work out, switching up our routines, going different places, riding bikes, swimming in the ocean or in the pool, the outdoor pools. There's so many different things that we can do to switch up our routine. So we're going to talk about that right now. So switching up your workouts is important because we have something called muscle memory. And muscle memory is it's incredible how our body is developed. So our body is like this defense mechanism to build back stronger. So it avoids those or prevents that weak areas. So if we're doing like bicep curls, for example, which we don't do. I don't know why I always use that example, but we're actually breaking down the muscle so it will build back up stronger and get bigger. That's where weightlifting originated from in the bodybuilding world. So we break things down and then they build up stronger because they don't want to, or they want to be prepared for that, I suppose, that type of damage. It's a good type of damage to build back up stronger the next time you put your body under that same amount of stress or same type of stress. So that's kind of the boring end of it.
So, sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Bring it.
How would that relate to more body weight exercises or, for example, running? You know what I mean? How you're saying that muscle memory?
Right.
How would that relate to something other than like a bicep curl? Would it be like if you ran the same distance or same time or same pace? Like,
Not sure I understand your question.
Maybe I moved forward too quickly. Maybe that was the problem. I was trying to give a different scenario there.
So for body weight exercises, for example, like I like body weight exercises because they're functional. That's why we do them. And I mean functional meaning they'll make us stronger in life, for example. So different exercises like a squat, for example. We squat many times throughout the day and we don't think about it. You squat to pick up your child's toy. Yeah. You squat when you're sitting, like we're going to sit here, we're going to get up and like we're going to do some type of squat to stand up. So that's going to make it a whole lot easier. And especially that's more important as you get older because we want to remain flexible, we want to remain strong. So by doing squats and putting your body in a more stressful state,
it's going to get easier just to get off the ground. And I don't think some of us realize that how challenging that is for some, and especially as you get older, how difficult it is just to get up. For example, so like a plank position, you push yourself off the ground, or you roll yourself out of the bed. You know what I mean? So we do a lot of different functional exercises that can translate to other areas of our day to make us stronger. So did that answer your question?
I'm not even sure what my question was anymore. I think I got us a little off course here.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Shall we carry on?
I guess so.
So, well, I guess getting back to the main point of muscle memory. Like, we want to avoid muscle memory. So if you're going to continue to do things like a bicep curl, if you don't change it up, your body's going...
So this is how my question was. Is there muscle memory in other exercises that are not isolated exercises? See, that's what I was getting at. So when I was talking about running, for example, can that be an example of a muscle memory?
Let me answer it for you.
Okay.
So if you're running the same, let's say for example, you're running on a regular basis.
Yes.
So the reason that we exercise for the most part is for results, to drop inches, burn body fat, lose weight.
Get faster.
Get faster. So the reason that we do these types of exercises is to get results. So if you're running for 20 minutes a day on the treadmill for the same speed, the same incline all the time, there's no muscle confusion. Your muscle memory remembers that, and you don't continue to see results. So that answers your question.
That's my question was.
So that's why it's so important to change up your workouts, because your body remembers what you're doing, and there's nothing changing it. There's no other types of movements to make that different to continue to see results. So if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, your body remembers that, and it doesn't have any reason to change and adjust.
And it'd be the same with full body workout if you kept that workout the same every day, right? If your the same sets every day. So if you did squats and then push up and then rows or dips, for example, if you did those same 3 over and over and over, same type of thing, right?
That's right. So your body remembers what it's doing because it's built back those muscles stronger in that same sequence. So that's why it's so important to change it up. So, and let me come to nutrition real quick, because we always talk about nutrition and I have a difficult time not talking about it. So if it's the same thing with breakfast. So a lot of people with breakfast, for example, say, oh, I need to have my toast and eggs every morning. Some people have been doing that for 20 years.
Same breakfast every morning.
And it's difficult for them to see different results because they're not changing it up. It's the same thing as your as your body and your muscles need muscle confusion. We need to continue to change our breakfast, change our food, change our workouts to continue to see results.
And that would be more geared towards metabolism, right? Like you're saying switching it up for your muscle memory, but with food it would be for your metabolism.
Absolutely.
You're right.
So you change it up to change up your food to change up your metabolism, so it's burning at different rates and it's expecting different types of food and nutrients at different times.
So your metabolism can actually plateau like your muscles or your workouts plateau.
That's a great way to say it. So the things that we can do to change for muscle confusion so we don't reach that plateau. And you said it's interesting that you said your metabolism can plateau. Well, many times our results plateau. And like back in when I was like lifting heavy like a bodybuilder, that was like a big concern. Like, what do you do when you reach that plateau when you don't see any results? Maybe you don't gain any more weight or muscle mass, or maybe you don't drop any more inches. That's like a big deal. So people are so afraid of this plateau. And to avoid that plateau, these are things that we need to do. Like, we need to continue to change our workouts. So do different reps. You can do a short workout, so a 20-minute workout without breaks in between. Or you can take longer breaks in between your exercises or workouts. That's not something that we do in particular. We're more efficient with our workouts. 20 to 30 minutes, get in, get out. But go running, for example, in between resistance training. So those are those things that can help.
And I just wanted to bring up the point to make sure it's a combination of different things. For example, just running or just doing resistance training, mix and match it up. You know what I'm getting at? I'm not as good as explaining this maybe
Doing
as
just
you
fine.
are.
Yeah, it's a great point. But that's that muscle confusion that we're talking about. So confuse your muscle, confuse your body. If we get set in that same routine of 20-minute running or an hour running, like even if you're running an hour and a half, your body still needs to be confused with something, with like resistance training, for example.
I was just thinking, because we've had clients or members in the past that have said, I run or I walk for an hour every day. Like, why isn't anything happening here? Why have things stopped happening? Results have stopped, or why isn't anything new results coming? But this is what's happening, right? That what you're saying is that muscle memory is your body is complacent with what's going on. So we need to switch things up and get things going differently. So add some resistance training, add some interval training, and just
circuit training, high intensity training, like bring your heart rate up and then bring it back down. That's why we do a few exercises, then rest. Do a few exercises, then rest.
True Form Life.
All right, so in this next segment, we're talking about stop working out for hours, or why you don't need to be working out for hours anymore. Now, on this snippet of the D&D Morning Show, Dorothy and I are actually on the beach. So you're going to hear the waves in the background, and we are trying to talk a bit louder so you can hear us over the waves. So I hope you kind of think that's a little cool kind of aspect to this show. We're on location. But the fact of the matter is, which we're going to get into here shortly, is you don't need to work out for hours anymore. That goes back to what I talk about in the snippet here, is that goes back to the history of when we began lifting from bodybuilding. So you sat there and you worked on one muscle group for a couple hours, or you needed to do cardio for a couple hours at certain times of your training schedule because you're in a cutting phase, for example. But the way we train and what we're talking about here is the average person or the regular person that just wants to get in better shape. They want to be healthier, they want to be stronger, you want to have more confidence, more energy, you want to fit into your clothes better. There's all kinds of different reasons why we do the things that we do today, and none of that has much to do with working out for hours. So it's kind of a thing of the past, and I hope you enjoyed this segment here. So we're gonna get into it in a minute here, and we hope you've been enjoying these segments of the D&D Morning Show. If you want more details, head over to trueformlife.com/D&D Morning Show. We send these out once a week to our monthly membership group, and we also have a standalone product where you can subscribe for a couple bucks a month, and then we send you the show once a week so you can wake up energized and have a different aspect or different outlook on the week, and also get some tips and information. As you can tell, Dorothy and I work quite well together, and we're always up in a good mood, and we just feel like that's a great way to wake up and offer valuable information. So again, more details at trueformlife.com/D&D Morning Show. We got this next snippet coming up right here, why you don't need to be working out for hours.
True Form Life.
And okay, so our main topic is
The big question that we're going to answer today is, how long should I work out for? Go ahead, Drew. You start it off.
Take it away.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the short answer to that question is there really is no answer. There's no specific answer or right answer, I should say. So like everyone has like different goals. Everyone has different situations in their lives. Like if we only have 20 minutes to work out, you should work out for 20 minutes. So there's your answer. How long should you work out for? 20 minutes if you have 20 minutes. If you have 10 minutes, then take 10 minutes to do a high intensity workout. And if you have longer, go for a walk for an hour.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but go for a walk for an hour if you have an hour. I think that the mindset of working out for an hour and a half these days, it's the mindset of the past. Like to get the results you want, you don't have to sit in the gym for an hour and a half and do cardio for a half hour and do weights for an hour. Like, you don't need that to get results.
I don't know where the concept of you need at least an hour to work out really came from, but like Drew said, it's fading out. You can get a great workout in 20-30 minutes now, high intensity, full body workout. You don't have to go, clang around weights in the gym for an hour and a half. I guess it's the new way, right? Because time is such a big factor in our lives. And, the excuse, I don't have time, this helps you eliminate that excuse. Everybody has 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Everybody has 30 minutes. So.
And I think that's a good point. because I feel like a lot of people say I don't have time because they think that they have to work out for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you don't have time for an hour and a half, but most of us could find time for 10 to 20 minutes to get a good workout in. And we work out for 20 to 30 minutes, and that's a good time frame to get a great workout in if you increase your intensity.
It's all relative to how hard you're working out, however, right?
But still, then it goes back to what kind of shape you're in.
Right.
So if you're just walking, for example, go and walk for 5 minutes, and then walk for 10 minutes the next week.
Yeah.
And slowly increase in a sustainable manner. But if you're working out at a higher intensity for 20 to 30 minutes, you don't need to keep increasing so you're like at an hour and a half. When's it gonna stop?
Yeah.
Just because you're in better shape doesn't mean you have to work out for 3 hours a day. So start with something you're comfortable with, and something that fits into your lifestyle. So if it's 20 minutes, go for a 20-minute walk, or ride your bike for 20 minutes, or go swimming. There's so many things that we can do in a short amount of time to get our workout in.
And it is a new concept. A lot of times when I do go to the gym, I don't go to the gym to work out very often. Usually I do full body workouts at home. But, you know, you walk in and you walk out within 20, 30 minutes, you got people looking at you. Or the lady at the reception sometimes will say, "Done already?" Right? Because it is a newer concept to do these high intensity workouts for 20, 30 minutes.
Well, I think when you said where does it come from, like it comes from the bodybuilding world.
Right.
And what you do, like this is what the world that I grew up in, you read those muscle and fitness magazines, and this is what the experts tell you, is that you have to sit there, and what they're doing is working one muscle group for an hour.
Yeah.
Which is kind of bizarre when we think about it now, with the way we work out and the way we teach, but working a bicep 6 different ways for an hour, heavy reps, sitting there for 3 minutes in between each rep, like it's not very efficient, and it's not very effective unless you're a bodybuilder.
Right.
Because that's where weightlifting and exercising originated from.
Right.
So if we get past that and understand that we're not bodybuilders, and our main goals usually aren't to get bigger biceps or bigger triceps for whatever reason, then we can do full body workouts in a short amount of time.
Right.
True Form Life.
All right, so that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Exploring Mind and Body. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sticking around. And thank you for being a part of our True Form Life community. Through your downloads, shares, reviews, everything that you do to contribute to the show, we certainly wouldn't be here without you. Just a quick recap of what we went over. First of all, those snippets were from the D&D Morning Show. If you want more details, or if you're interested in getting those each week, head over to trueformlife.com/D&D Morning Show. Dorothy and I absolutely love those. And we also take snippets off once in a while and post them on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/trueformlife. And those are parrots outside right now getting crazy. I'm not sure if you can hear them, but they are pretty cool. They're making a bunch of noise back there behind me. So when we started off by talking about summertime goals, it's important to set summertime goals so you don't just get through the summer. Don't focus on getting through the summer. Work on creating habits and developing habits so when September rolls around, you're not feeling like you're starting all over right from the beginning. You'll be head above shoulders from everyone that's just starting out, just finding fitness routines or signing up for the gym. The next one was what the importance of switching up workouts is to avoid that dreaded plateau, how to switch up workouts, why you should. Remember, it's important to always do something different. Keep your body changing and guessing, which is going to get you those results. And then lastly, why we should stop working out for hours. Kind of old school going on there. We don't need to be working out for hours anymore. And come on, man. Dorothy is actually flexing her muscles right now, trying to make me laugh while I finish this extra here. So thanks for that. But I was just going to say we're wrapping up here with why you don't need to be working out for hours. So just look at different ways to get results and change that mindset of sticking around or hanging out at the gym for hours, unless that's your environment or that's what you go there for. But many times we just need to get in and get out and get a great workout in. So those were the topics today. I hope you enjoyed those snippets or segments from the morning show. And I hope you enjoyed this show altogether. We appreciate you being here again. We thank you for your downloads, shares, reviews, everything that you do to contribute to the show. We certainly wouldn't be here without you. Don't forget about our free app on any Apple device. just head over to any Apple store and download Exploring Mind and Body so you never miss a show. We certainly appreciate your reviews and your downloads. And for our monthly membership, for our limited time, we're offering $1 for the first month. That's it. Fitness routines, exercises, all at-home workouts, and group support as well. That's it. That's all I got. I'm out of here. As always, I'm your host, Drew Tadia, in health and fitness for a better world. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Exploring Mind and Body with Trueform Life's Drew Tadia, fitness expert. To find out more about the show, Drew Tadia, or to listen to past shows, visit exploringmindandbody.com.